I'm Amber Fuhriman, and this is the Break Your Bullshit Box podcast. If you want comfort, this is not the place for you. If you're ready to understand what makes smart, capable, successful people, including you, keep repeating the same patterns, this show breaks down human behavior, drawn from real conversations and years of studying what makes people create change so that you can make better decisions, have better conversations, and get better results. So let's dig in and break the bullshit that's been running the show. Welcome back to another episode of the Break Your Bullshit Box podcast. Today I have Ben Berard, who is so many things. What I know him as is this master of human connection and this giver of opportunities for volunteer. The Volunteers of Vegas is his baby that has been born out of a love and desire to see goodwill spread across the Vegas Valley. When he may not have been given the opportunities to volunteer in the way that he wanted to, he created those opportunities. And I'll be honest, I have no idea where this conversation is going to go. And yet I trust that wherever it ends up is going to be incredibly valuable. So with that being said, Ben, thank you so much for being here.
Absolutely. There's nowhere else I'd rather be.
Oh, I appreciate you saying that. We met by the strangest of circumstances because you stumbled into a networking event that I was hosting, and there was something familiar about you, and I just couldn't put my hands on it. And then I heard you say Volunteers of Vegas and turned into a total fangirl. And so it's just interesting. You mentioned something before we started recording that nothing happens by accident and there are no coincidences. Yep, and I truly believe that about you walking into my networking event.
I feel the same way. You are right. I stumbled into your event. I, to be honest, thought I was going to a chamber event. Turns out I found you through the chamber's website, and that was my first ever associated or affiliated event that I've gone to. And actually my first real networking event since I've been in Las Vegas.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I was there for Rotary because I'm on the board for the Green Valley Rotary Club, and I was trying to kind of promote that, and you told the story mostly right. I actually felt you circling me and looking at me like a hawk because someone's like, I know you, and then all of a sudden there's Amber, I know you too. On TikTok, I was like,
how many times can I stare at this guy before he thinks I'm just a creep?
Well, and then, I don't know if you remember, but then we were doing the intros around, and I really was there for Rotary, so I said, hello, my name is Ben, and I'm the director of membership for the Green Valley Rotary, and you're like, what else do you do?
Yes.
Volunteers of Vegas.
Which, by the way, speaking of Rotary, I just saw your nice announcement about your upcoming podcast, which I think is incredible.
Thank you. I appreciate that. There's a lot of exciting things happening with regard to Rotary.
So it's interesting because I just did RILA with Rotary, which, for those of you who don't know, Rotary is an international service organization, and RILA is their youth leadership arm of that. And so that was one of my first real district-related conversations. And I remember so many of the conversations on the way back. We can Monday morning quarterback anything. And there's no doubt that some of these are massive productions, that more things go right than go wrong. But I also think that there's this communication breakdown between sometimes leadership and clubs. And so when I saw your podcast coming out of all things District 5300, I was like, first of all, there's no one better to do it than Ben. And second of all, my God, this is needed.
Yeah. It's wild. The adventure that Rotary has taken me on. I mean, again, nothing happens by coincidence, and it's been a catalyst. My Aunt Debbie, she is in Rotary, and I lived in Pasadena many a year ago, and I was part of the Pasadena Club, influenced by her. Then I went to Miami, and I was part of the Aventura Club. Came back here, I was joining a different club, and I was directed, life put me where I am today. It just so happens that I joined the board on my local chapter, the Green Valley Club, I was then recruited to the district, so now I'm serving on the district as well, which is actually my next meeting today.
Nice.
We have a public image meeting going on, and I also run a TikTok for both my local club and the international chapter.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
the crazy
A
thing,
lot, but amazing.
yeah, it is a lot. Did you know I run 8 TikToks? And now I'm going to be doing the Henderson Equality Center as well, so it'll be 9.
Dude, how many people are you?
At least 3. Well, I'm so thankful for Rotary though. I have nothing bad to say about them because they've opened so many doors. So many doors have opened because of different variables in life, but I looked at Rotary and I wanted to create something that resembled Rotary, but I understand, and my mom's always said that people want to do good, they just don't always know how. So I thought to myself, you know what? I'm going to take a risk. I'm going to see if she's right. So I decided to take Rotary, and they have great things that they do, but I wanted to make it free. I wanted to remove any barriers for people to be involved in their community, and volunteering, as you know, is one of the most selfish things we can do because it releases euphoria, dopamine, serotonin, and it's not altruistic. I get 10 times what I give, and the catalyst that Rotary has been, not only did I start Volunteers of Vegas because of them, but it's a full circle moment because we have on February 10th, we're doing a mats project with them, which is where we take plastic bags. We then cut them into loops, which is called plarn. It's yarn made of plastic. We have a group of ladies come in and they crochet the plastic into mats. And so there's 2 events that we're doing with Rotary. So it started to be a free Rotary, and now Rotary is now partnering with Volunteers of Vegas.
Yeah. Well, and I think, first of all, I love Rotary as well. And we were actually talking about this last night. We had a Rotary social for our club last night. And we were talking about how few people actually know what Rotary is.
Crazy.
It's insane. Yeah. And I was talking to some of the older members of our club, and they were talking about how when they were coming up, you just did good to do good. You didn't tell the world about it. And I think that's a programming thing, right? Don't brag about yourself. Don't talk about your successes. Don't broadcast if you're doing something good. Like, just do it. Don't talk about it.
Yeah.
And that's great until you need funding.
Yeah.
Right? Like, until things cost money.
Yeah.
Or until you're talking to people saying, why don't you volunteer more? Well, where can I do that? And how can I do that? And, I always thought before I got into it, that Rotary was like a Lions Club, like a veterans organization.
Yep.
I had no idea what it was.
Yep.
So this is one of the things, and this isn't a Rotary podcast, so I want to make sure we
sounds
move on.
like it.
Right? Exactly. But I think that's one of the things that I'm so excited for is this humanization of the organization so that more people can get involved. But adding to that, though, your organization of Volunteers of Vegas has the ability to eliminate the funding requirement because you're saying, like, listen, we don't need your money. We just need your energy. We need your work. We need your hands. We need you to come be boots on the ground.
Yep.
So you combine that with a Rotary that has resources, and it's this great collaboration.
It is. It's one of the best things I've done with my life, and we'll talk about catalysts and no such thing as coincidence, I'm sure, at some point. But it's scary because I didn't have any funding. I was like, okay, I don't know how to do this. I've never done this before, but I'm going to open up the door. Again, my mom always said, people want to do good. They just don't always know how. So I was like, well, let me do it. I had no idea what the game plan would be. I didn't know where funding would come from. I didn't know how to create a website. And I Googled and I created, and the first day that we were in existence, I created a TikTok. We had 500 followers. We now have 300 volunteers.
Wow.
We support over 20 organizations in addition to hosting our own events. And the differentiator, I was sharing, I just got back from a meeting, we're going national, and our first event was May 3rd. So it's been like 7 months.
God, it seems like so much longer than that.
You're telling me. And it's like all of a sudden we're going national. And let me tell you, so this is how it happened. Rotary. Okay, maybe this is going to be a Rotary
We'll just release
podcast.
This on the district podcast.
No, but I'm not kidding. Like, there was a speaker that came to our meeting, and he was there on the wrong day. He was supposed to come a different day. He was supposed to be there on a day that I wasn't going to be there. His name's Troy. He's with Vegas for Athletes.
Okay.
He happened to come to our meeting, and there was a scheduled speaker, and he showed up. by mistake, wrong day. But Rotary was like, you know what, you showed up, so we'll let you open for the scheduled speaker. Troy goes up, he talks about Vegas for athletes and the wonderful things that they do. So we exchanged information, but we didn't take it anywhere from there. A couple months later, I was at this event called Dark Side Sports. It was powered by Nike. It's all about helping children stay on the right path. It's like recruiting for football, helping kids not fall into trouble, if you will. So all of a sudden, I'm there. It's media day. We have a bunch of people there coming in. They're giving kind of like the who, what, when, where, why. And I hear, Ben. And I was like, huh? Like, who? I don't know anyone here. It's my first time. Her name was Renee, and she is the partner she's one of the main people of Vegas for Athletes. She's like, Troy told me all about you. I've been wanting to reach out to you. I love what you're doing. I'm curious, do you have plans to expand? And I was like, actually,
I do now.
I already did, because we're volunteers at Vegas, but what we're gonna, and don't you take this, it's gonna be volunteersof.com. So you go to volunteers of New York, LA, Miami, San Antonio, wherever you want to go. So she's like, are you going to be going, like, growing? And I was like, yes. She's like, we're hosting the Summer Games in Las Vegas. We need 300 volunteers, and after we're going to be going national. Do you want to do this with us as a partnership? And I was like, are you serious? She's like, yes. So then all of a sudden she planted the seed, but I'm like, I don't know how to go national. Like, this is super scary, but I just trust the universe. The next day, I'm walking past a dog park, and this dog runs up to me. I have chills. This dog runs up to me. The dog's name is Scrappy. I'll never forget, because it's a life-changing moment. This lady walks up. The dog was barking. She's like, I'm sorry. And I'm like, I love dogs. No, you're fine. We start talking. Her name is Stephanie. Turns out she's with Empower You, which helps organizations grow and accomplish their goals. So she said, do you have any ambitions or goals that you're working on currently that you can, share with me that we might be able to collaborate on? And I was like, it just so happens yesterday we decided to go national. She's like, can you get people in a room on the 16th, which is today? And I said, yeah. She's like, I will teach you and give you every step you need from start to finish to go national. And I'm like, there's no way. There's got to be, it's a scam. It's going to be, we'll give you the first step, but you got to pay for the rest. No, I just got back. It was a 4-hour session at Sunset Casino. They walked us through everything. They aligned our goals. They gave us a step-by-step process and a 365 calendar on what each person needs to do, what I need to do as the founder to truly go national. And it's like the day before I met her, I had no idea what to do. The seed was planted, the universe brought her into my life, and that's how it's gone. Like, every single dollar that we've raised, we've never asked for money. It's just come in because people see, the world sees, the sea is parting. This is what I'm supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
And I just have to say, I'm so thankful that I'm on this journey, and I wouldn't be on this journey without the different doors that have opened for me, including my 9-to-5, which is driven.
Yeah.
And I thought they were going to fire me, to be honest with you, because I started this, and then I'll shut up.
No,
let you ask me a question.
This is your show.
I started this not knowing what it would be. I thought it would be a little group of people, 7-10 people that just go volunteer, and I'll provide, some sandwiches. We're 300 people deep. It's taking a lot of time. And Driven, they decided, instead of firing me, they said, we're going to partner with you. We believe in your mission. We want to see this succeed. We're going to back you. So every step of the way, I have had support, and I have had full trust by my employer, who keeps a roof over me and my dog's head, and allows me to live my dream life. It's truly imposter syndrome to the max.
So I want to touch on that for a minute, because it is incredible what you're getting to accomplish right now. And I definitely resonate with the kind of pinch me moments of realizing you're living your dream life, right? And what that feels like. I mean, I just, in the last episode, last recording, had that moment, and I'm having it again now of, I'm spending my Fridays sitting down talking to judicial candidates and fundraisers for nonprofits and individuals like yourself who connect people in the community. Like, what did I do right in my life for this to be what I get to do every day, right? And I think that's such an incredible question I want to ask you, is there have to have been choice moments where you had the opportunity to do something that from the outside looked like the better choice.
Yeah.
And aligned was not. Where did you get the courage to choose the worst choice?
Wow, that is such a good question. So I don't know if you know this, but when I lived in Las Vegas to be with I was going through a divorce, and I was here to heal from that. I chose Las Vegas to be with my grandma. This is her handwriting. Like, she was my best friend. She passed away shortly after I moved here, and I struggled with that. I struggled with that. She was my bestie. So after she passed, I was like, I'm in Las Vegas, but I don't need to be. I'm here for her, but she's not here. So let me go move across the country. I moved to Miami, and I was there for 3 years. I truly believe I was there to be with Driven. I was offered two choices the same day. One was a Grant Cardone company, and then one was Driven. One paid significantly more, and you can guess which one that was. My gut told me, Ben, go with this. Go with Driven. And I didn't get it, and nobody wanted me to. I called my dad. I prayed. I'm like, what do I do? They're like, the money. And I'm like, no, the heart, the gut. I've never felt my gut more, ever. I think I felt my gut twice in my entire life. And Driven was one of the 2 times. And it wasn't the obvious choice, but so many times, Amber, I have not been the obvious choice. I'm not the obvious choice to be founding a national organization, but to answer your question, I've learned that everybody else is taken, as cliche as that is, and I am so perfectly imperfect. I have so many flaws. There's not enough time in the day to go through them, but I've learned to embrace myself, and I've learned to show up for myself. And by doing that, I've gained confidence that I didn't know was even possible. I have no fear, and I don't know why. I should be scared. There are so many variables and things that can go wrong, but I just know what I'm supposed to be doing.
I think when you step into that place, because I feel like for maybe the first time, I hear what you're saying, and the inner cheerleader in me is like, oh my God, I'm right there with you, right?
Yeah.
Because in the past, I would hear people say things like that, and I'd be like, God, I can't wait until the moment I feel that way. Yeah. Or is it possible to feel that way? Yeah. And there comes a point where you say, like, I am so tired of being someone else. And it's really interesting, not to bring this back, but I'm going to Rotary. We just did the 4-way speech contest for our club. And I did a Facebook post on this. One of the girls that talked, that in my opinion should have won, but I wasn't a judge, so I guess I don't have a say. She talked about this idea of who am I? Yeah. Who am I supposed to be? Yeah. Was kind of the topic of her presentation. And she's 17. Yeah. And she shared this conversation of being at a lunch table and thinking, okay, I'm going to go sit down with these girls. Who am I supposed to be? And I'm going into like this basketball game. Who am I supposed to be here? Yeah. And then I got to go into this class, and who am I supposed to be here? And her overarching message was twofold. That number one, like, who are we when we're trying not to be anybody? Who are we when we're just allowing ourselves to be? Yeah. But almost more importantly, and this is what I think you do so well, is how do we create environments where nobody has to ask themselves that question? How do we create environments where people walk in and they just feel like unapologetically and imperfectly them is who they're supposed to be? And it happens through modeling. It happens through being us and allowing other people to say, holy shit, like, that's possible. Yeah.
I actually just got back from Wisconsin. One of my favorite places, it's a guilty pleasure. It's Kohler, Wisconsin. Okay. I actually have a chocolate for you. I'll give you, you wouldn't know Kohler bakes faucets and toilets and all of that, but they have a town. It's called Kohler. And they have a chocolate factory called Kohler Chocolate. And it is the best. Their chocolate melts. Shout out Kohler. It's life-changing. But anyways, I was in Kohler, and I was giving a presentation. I was asked to be speaker. It was an hour-long time slot, and I've never spoken for an hour before. And I'm like, what can I talk about for an hour? And I thought about it, and I'm like, you know what? I'm such a believer of humans. And so I decided to talk about the human behind the title. And I'm like, if you're a CEO, if you're a flight attendant, if you're an attorney, or if you are a paralegal, or if you are a founder of a nonprofit and beyond, behind all of those titles, there's a human. And if you can connect with that human being, everything else just dissipates and goes away. It's one of the best tools you can have in your toolkit, your sales toolkit, or just your ability to be a human. is by talking to other imperfect humans.
I feel like this has been the theme of the day,
Hasn't
honestly. Yeah. We started by talking about the massive tank of certain companies who choose to alienate their base in exchange for money.
Yep.
Like maybe taking away free checked bags and open seating.
So get me started.
And then I interviewed a judge who is like trying to be human while also saying like, here is my entire life, rip it apart and tell me why you don't want to vote for me.
Yeah.
And then, you know, we're talking about professions that when we look at our education system, we're told to sit down and shut up from the time we're 5 years old and we get enrolled in preschool.
Yep.
And then we're told to be ourselves after we graduate from high school. And we're like, wait a second.
I've just been conditioned.
For the last 12 years, you've been telling me to shut up.
Yep.
Who the hell am I?
Yes.
So I think part of the problem is that we don't know who the human is behind the title.
When we're
so
infants,
how do we find out?
Right. Like it also goes back to, oh gosh, I love this. So it goes back to being an infant. When you're young, you're hungry, you scream that you're hungry. You feel something, you want something, you have no fear in expressing that. And we're conditioned and trained not to do that. Michelangelo, when he created David, he didn't say he created David. He said he removed everything that wasn't David. And it, for me, when I read that, I was like, oh, like chills. Like you have to just be okay growing in and being yourself and just understanding that we have been our entire life trained to be controlled. And I just decided to sweep that away. But is it possible to go back to bags really quickly?
Always.
Like just a quick PSA to
we
anybody.
can go wherever you want.
Thank you. Just a PSA to anybody who cares to listen. If you are on a plane with a bag that fits under your seat in front of you, put it under the seat in front of you, please, for the love of God. Like there's just like a certain line of respect. And number two, pick up after your dog. That is my number two pet peeve is like I cannot with people. I made a sign that said it says you are what you leave behind.
Can we also add shopping carts to this conversation?
Yes, I use that all the time. Put it back. Yeah. Put the shopping. Use your turn signal. It's not that hard.
Yeah, I mean turn signals are kind of hard.
Oh my God, it's in the name. It's a signal for turning. Use it. But it's a true story. One time my stepmom's like, "What's the name of that one signal you use when you turn?" I'm like, "I love you, Linda. By the way, I love you so much." It's a true story.
I think so. I want to step back for just a minute because so much is going through my head right now. Let me collect my thoughts. I think often when I talk about Break Your Bullshit Box, I talk about the fact that you and I aren't having a conversation right now. My bullshit's having a conversation with your bullshit, right? Like thoughts go through my head. And then you have those bullshit filters, the imposter syndrome of what are they going to think if I say this or what are they going to think if I don't? Yeah. And then I say something and then right after I say it, it's the, okay, how is this going to land? And then you hear it and you're like, okay, is this what they meant? Is this not what I meant? And then you think and you respond based on that.
Yep.
Right? So if we don't acknowledge that my bullshit's talking to your bullshit, we're not actually talking about human conversation, right? So when we're talking about these humans behind the titles, we've got to remember that we have insecurities. They have insecurities. I know. But we know neither of us want to talk about them, but both of us are thinking them.
Yeah.
And then we try to communicate, right? So how do we create this world? How do you create this world where people feel so comfortable walking up to you and like letting their guard down and just being like, these are all the things I think are imperfect about myself? Because I've seen it happen over and over and over and over again with you. People just walk up and they're like, here's all my imperfections.
My entire life, I've had that. To be honest with you, I come across as a fairly confident person. My self-esteem is through the floor. I really struggle with that. And so because I can identify with the person who is struggling with themselves, I mean, all throughout high school, my nickname was Ben Gay, right? Like growing up as a gay kid in a small little town, like, trust me, I've been through it. I've had the house teepeed. I've had gum in the hair. I've had the mean things said. I identify with the kids that didn't fit in with the other kids. So even though my life is fairly awesome now, I will never forget the kid that had to have the gum cut out of his hair at a school rally. And so I always will have a soft spot in my heart for those people. And I've had people that, like I said, I've never been most of my life I have not been the obvious choice, but people have taken risks on me. And because certain people, mentors, directors, and friends saw me in a way that I couldn't even see myself, I do that for other people. And so for me, it's just so imperative. And I think of a scorpion. When they shed their skin, they are so vulnerable, but they grow out of it.
Yeah.
And we're supposed to change. We're supposed to grow. And you have to get rid of that exoskeleton. You have to let yourself be vulnerable. You have to get beat up sometimes in order to become the best version of yourself. And I want to let people be okay when they're shedding that skin, and I want to embrace them.
Yeah, that's so incredibly powerful.
Thank you.
And I learned so much from you, honestly.
Wow,
even just from the moments because one of my journeys, one of my struggles is I care about human beings so much.
Same.
And I've been in a profession where it hasn't been okay to show it.
Mm-hmm.
So then I open this coaching business and I host these networking events, and it's from the moment that you meet somebody to the moment that, well past the moment they walk out of your room, there's these touch points that the little stuff matters more than the big stuff.
Absolutely.
And yet my career has been spent on the big stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't always think about the little stuff. And, there was a moment where you sent me an email saying, hey, here's some little stuff. And I thought, God, number one, I appreciated that email so much. And I know my response was kind of like, hey, it's my little stuff, not your little stuff, back off. But the more that I sat in it, that, just our whole interaction has had so I do want you to know that I took that email to heart. And some of it I agreed with and some of it I didn't.
Perfectly fair.
And that's perfectly fair, right? But the reality of, well, here's the only way I can share it. 2020, I put my dog down, and a good friend of mine flew across the country to take me to lunch, and it was a struggle for him because I was traveling a lot. And so he would book a flight, and then he'd be like, hey, what are you doing this weekend? And I'm like, I'm going to be in San Diego. Yeah. And he'd be like, well, shit. And then he'd cancel his flight. And so he had to organize it.
Yeah.
Right. So my friend took me out to breakfast, and I turned around, and there's this person from Delaware who I didn't know was coming that flew into Vegas for one day for one specific reason only, which was to give me a hug.
Oh my gosh.
And then go. Well, I didn't know that a world existed where people did that.
Oh my gosh.
And more than that, I didn't know that a world existed where I was worth having that done for, right? So that happens, and then fast forward about 6 months later, and a friend of mine is really dealing with some shit. And I'm like, oh, wait a second. There's a world that exists where somebody gets on a plane and goes and gives somebody 100%. A hug. And so I get on a plane and I go to Georgia, and there's this, somebody does something unexpected for you, which shifts the way that you see the world. Yeah. So I share this because you see the world in these micro connections in a way that so many people don't. And from the thank you cards to, and it's made my brain rewire itself to screw the big stuff. How can I just, the chocolate bar, how can I do something that costs so little but means so much to somebody else? And I just want you to know that being around you has made that impact on me.
Oh my goodness gracious. Thank you. I'm tearing up a little bit because I'm so lucky to live a life where I get to see those little things every day. I work with volunteers. We don't verify hours. By design, we don't want people to be with us to check a box. And I surround myself. My dentist laughs. I was looking for a way to meet good people. And she's like, Ben, some people go to Bumble BFF. You started a nonprofit organization filled with volunteers, but it's filled with people who do the little things. And you can identify with this. I get up at 4 a.m. every day. I'm working by 4:30 a.m. and I don't stop till 8. Yeah. And and I'm not kidding. Sometimes there's a 30-minute gap. On Sunday, I scheduled time to sleep. That's a true story. And it's sometimes really challenging to go through that. But then I'm just getting back from a meeting with my leadership team for Volunteers of Vegas. It's 11 people who are dedicated full time to making this organization thrive. And I don't pay them a penny.
Yeah.
It's because they want to, and they see it, and they see me like I take everything. I'll carry everything because I want this to be enjoyable for them. And they say, let me take this off. Let me take this from you. Ben, let me sleep. I have, my mom's my best friend, and, girl, what did you put? What's in this water?
I put cheers in it.
So my mom is my best friend, and I want her to have a wonderful social life. And sometimes she has a hard time getting out of her shell. So one of our volunteers said, hey, Ben, can I cook with your mom? And I was like, are you serious? She's like, yeah, I know your mom wanted to make these Brazilian desserts. I'd love to invite her to my house. So tomorrow I'm taking my mom to her house. And then she's like, hey, someone else wants to come too. I'm not going to name names, but she's like, can she come and we can have a girls' time and you can sit in the other room, read a book? And today she said, I'll change my sheets for you. I know you need to sleep. I'll let you take a nap in my bed while I cook with your mom. Who does that?
Yeah.
It's a special thing, and I get to see these things and experience these things every day, and it's not lost on me. I'm so thankful, and I didn't always have this blessing in this life, and I feel like I did have to earn it and go through some hard things to be here, but much like living here, going to Miami, going through struggle, I see Las Vegas in a whole different light. So going through different careers, jobs, and wearing different hats has allowed me to see my life today as it is, and it's beautiful. It's wonderful.
You know, I feel like the next time we have a podcast interview, I need to schedule 4 hours because I feel like you and I could talk forever.
Seriously.
I want to give you an opportunity to plug Volunteers for Vegas. Where can people find it? How can they get involved? If they're not in Vegas and they want to be involved in this Volunteers of, how can they express interest in their city? Kind of give the rundown.
Yeah, so we're at volunteersofvegas.com. It's very easy. We deliberately made it easy. We removed all the red tape. You just you click volunteer, and you see, I think we have 20 plus events right now, from drag shows to seniors, autism, park cleanups, helping the unhoused. We have charity poker tournaments where all the proceeds are going to benefit others in need. Whatever it is you're into, we're for the volunteer. The organization we're supporting is secondary. We truly are designing and creating events and opportunities to get involved in the community in a way that makes sense for you, the volunteer. So you can volunteer at volunteersofvegas.com, or you can click request. I just had a request today from an amputee with no arms and no legs who's evicted. So we're going to go try to help her. She was able to get things loaded into a U-Haul. We're going to help get it out of the U-Haul into her storage unit. And that we're able to, and we will have countless people sign up for that who resonates with it. So if you need volunteers, go to volunteersofvegas.com, click request, and you can have whatever assistance you need. If you want to volunteer, if you want to see our past events, or if you need resources, we have notary services, dental services, whatever you need, and it's all discounted or free for the Volunteers of Vegas.
I love that. At the end of every episode recently, as I've allowed myself to be more present, really been a struggle, as you know, when you are massively busy and you're always thinking about the next thing. I know. You have no idea what I'm talking about. Just allowing yourself to be present. And when I reflect on this episode, what I really hear is humanity and connection and honesty and vulnerability, and the willingness to do what you know is best for you even when the rest of the world doesn't. And so I greatly, greatly appreciate you coming on and sharing some time with me today. And I am sure it will not be the last time we have this conversation.
You are one of a kind. I am so honored to be spending this time with you. Thank you for inviting me, seeing the worth in me, the value in me, and I look forward to seeing you at the next mixer that you host.
Yes, yes. Thank you so much.
Thank you.